Ezekiel talks to bones. Ezekiel spent a lot of time having to scold God's children because they were so stubborn. But just like how your dad and mom encourage you even when you've been bad, God is a daddy, so he always lets his children know he has not given up on them. To show this, God took Ezekiel and put him in the middle of a very strange place, a valley full of bones. God walked Ezekiel through piles and piles of dry, dead bones all over the ground. Then God asked Ezekiel, "Can these old dead bones live again? Can they come back to life?" Ezekiel answered, "Oh, Lord, you are the only one who knows." Then God said to Ezekiel, "I want you to talk to these bones for me. Tell them, 'Dry bones, this is what God says to you. I will attach tendons to you, and I will make flesh come on you, and I'll cover you with skin. I will put breath in you, and you will come to life. Then you will know that I am the Lord.'" Did you hear that? God asked Ezekiel to tell the old bones that he was going to make them live again. Do you know what Ezekiel did after that? He started talking to those bones, of course, just like God told him to. And just as Ezekiel started talking to those bones, he heard a noise, a rattling sound. Just then, the bones started to attach back together, bone to bone. As Ezekiel stood there and watched, tendons and flesh appeared on the bones, then skin. Now they were whole bodies again, but there was still something missing. The breath. They still didn't have any life in them. So God said to Ezekiel, "Now talk to the wind for me and say to the wind, 'This is what God says to you. Wind, come, come, come from every direction and breathe into these old dead bodies so that they will live again.'" I bet you know what happened next. Ezekiel talked to the wind, of course, just as God told him. And when Ezekiel talked to the wind, breath came into them. They stood up on their feet. They were now a huge army of living people. Then God explained to Ezekiel, "These bones are like my people. They say, 'Our hope is all gone. We are cut off from God forever. Everything is ruined. We are like an old, dry pile of dead bones.' But I want you to tell my people for me, 'Children, even though you were dead, I'm going to make you alive again. I will bring you back to the land I gave you, and I will put my spirit in you, and you will live, even though you were dead. Then I will settle you in your own land again. Then you will know that I, the Lord, have spoken and that I have done this.'"